There we go. We got audio. We've got audio. Cool. Give me 1 second. Folks, my chart's not on the screen, which is actually crazy. Cool. All right, it is Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all across the world, it is our last opportunity to get a little bit better this week. If you have not signed up for the giveaway, go ahead and sign up. I am working with, I've been going back and forth with the MFF for those of you who didn't get your accounts. Sorry about that, taking forever. We are going to tidy that up today. The link, the sign up form link for the giveaway is in free chat. Okay. Here it is. Giveaway form for this week. We will be doing that shortly. Make sure you join the Discord if you want to participate in that. I'm a little low. How about now? Put my mic closer. How about meow? A little better? Who do we got on the roster today? We've got SMK Prabhu. Good morning. A7MD. Good morning. Take a Risk. CHA. Good morning. Conquestador. Good morning. All right, guys. So today I wanted to start with, as we always do, the weekly chart and make sure we have our bearings. Okay, so these levels already got hit, as you can see before. We are working our way towards my macro target that I've had for probably a month now, if not longer. Trading plan has been very simple. If anything, watching me should really show you how simple your trading strategy can be. What is this? Got a hoodie behind me. Woo. Get out the shot. It's messing my shot up. Parvati, good morning. Can you guys hear me? Test, test. Say you can hear me if you guys can hear me. Good morning, good morning. I don't want to dive into this if you guys can't hear me. Y'all can hear me? Cool. All right, cool. So on the weekly, we need to be asking ourselves, first and foremost, what makes sense for this candle close? Okay, I want you all in that mode right now. Forget what's happening on the lower time frames. Okay, we've got the 10 o'clock, 4 hour that's closing. We can make a decision there. What makes sense for the weekly close? Okay, you need to be thinking about this starting yesterday, honestly. We have a huge up engulfing candle, same here, right? We're pretty close to this edge on the weekly. We could sweep this. Okay, the question is, are we going to have a massive extension? Is there any measured move on the lower that is going to give us a near double extension to our measured move target higher? Or are we likely to sweep this level or even front run it, reject, and come back and do some type of mean reversion to a liquidity target that is lower? Okay, those are the obvious outcomes in my mind. I'll say them again. If we're going to move higher, we have a measured move target higher. That would be about a double of this candle. If that was going to happen, we should see some consolidation like a flag or something that gives us a clean measured move on the day, which would allow us to rise literally 450 points. That's kind of the thesis. Or not. Okay, now we can go back a little bit and see if there is a trend line over here at all that we can use. Okay, that would also make sense for us to hit. Is there a trend line? We've got this one right here. Okay, this one coincidentally goes, pretty close to my measured move target. So we'll leave that on there. ES, looking at ES on the weekly, very similar. Okay, very big engulfing candle. We've had multiple dojis on the weekly. Will we get a top wick on this candle, or is it going to just continue higher in an engulfing pattern? Okay, we need to be wary of this level here. So this is an obvious key level to look out for, the sweep of this prior weekly high. Okay, we got pretty close to it, but we did not sweep it. So let me go ahead and put we'll go down to the lower time frames. Let's go to the 4 hour, go to a lower time frame, come over to this high, and let's add an alert here. And we'll just say prior weekly high swept. Okay, so that's that high over there. We did not sweep it, got pretty close. Right now, we just mean reverted, little pop up here. We have a P-shaped volume profile, right? Came back to the POC right there. Let's go to the 4 hour on the weekly. So what I'm looking for on this time frame, again, is there any information here? We can even go to the 8 before we go down to the 4. Is there anything here that shows like a measured move extension directly today? Are we going to do 400 points today to either of these levels? Okay. We can get rid of these PDL levels. You can see that this trend line is still in play. This previous trend line, okay, still showing us support even though we cracked it, right? It was holding here. Now we're holding over here. It makes sense to me. There's quite a few possibilities. If we get rangy, we could come all the way down, right? Play inside of above this trend line, right? Doing a higher low. All of that makes sense on the day, quite frankly. Okay, we've got previous day VAL right there, which, you know, given the shape of the VP, there's low value right here on the right side. Okay, we've got this little low value node right here. Comes across it. We start to tap into this liquidity. There's a shelf right here, right? So it brings us right to our trend line. Nice little play there. If we start running higher, then we need to just look for really our Friday trending behavior, which should be a grind up maneuver. So we'll start stacking volume higher on the lower time frames. That's what we'd be looking for higher. What I'm going to do right here is do our 4 key levels. Go ahead, put them into the chat for me, folks. What are the 4 key levels that we look for every single day? Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. What are they? What are they? Prior day high, prior day low, overnight high, overnight low. Thank you, Conquistador. Good work. Let's see what we got here. So Conquistador, obviously. SMK, probably I got you. Parvati, good morning. Paulo, good morning. Subramanian, good morning. Muthukumar, good morning. Rajamani, good morning. LSJN, good morning. SK Prakar, 1989, good morning. Kirthana, good morning. US Prakash, good morning. Those are the 4 levels. Okay, very, very key. Now we can see, let's actually do a trade review, right, of something that I mentioned on, I'm pretty sure the last stream. Okay, you guys can kind of see if we go back in time, how you can use this, you know, going forward in time. Give me my replay. It's just not gonna, okay. So this was Wednesday. So Wednesday we have this nice bottom wick here. We'll advance by 4 hours here. D-shaped VP, okay, this is 2 o'clock. The question we have to ask ourselves is, if we long here, how much of this is likely to be retested? So you can see that there's this shelf here. Most bottom wicks get retested. We can see that we retested like basically the 50 fib of this previous wick. So it's a pretty safe bet, right? You could aim, do like a fib measurement, literally look for the same thing here. You can also use the VAL, right? Previous day VAL and uptrend also gets retested. So let's just assume that we want to long around in this node. Okay, we've got the wick here, and then you've got this obvious node here. So let's use a confluence of this area in our uptrend, right? Hunting for longs. I went too fast. But you can see that we got our buy, right? So let's go back. So really, if I put one here at the top, you see that order got filled, and we can go on our merry way, right? So using that knowledge, let's ask ourselves what makes sense in the current situation. If I was looking for an area lower to buy, is there a bottom wick that we could use? Okay, so obviously the 4 key levels: prior day high, prior day low, overnight low. So we'll do our overnight low, we'll do our overnight high up here. Prior day low is going to be way down here, and prior day high doesn't matter. Okay, but there's this wick here. We have our trend line, and there's this node here. So any of these getting retested, the thing you have to remember is because we have this trend line here, we technically still, we could actually puncture this low. We could sweep this low here a little bit, quite frankly, because we have this node here, this liquidity magnet, and still generally have a higher high overall. Just because there's such a hefty, this is very vertical here, right? This price action, if you actually look at the slope of this, is very, very vertical. And anytime you have less vertical price action, it's going to be a more stable rise. When you get like this, you're going to get more of a in-shape bounce, right? Okay, just makes sense. So my buy zone for lower is going to be in this area, okay, right around here, very close to where it was before. We've got this node here. We can even extend it if we want to give ourselves some room here. Now, you're probably like, Forrest, that's 100 and what is that? It's 87 points, not 100 points. But if you're not already long, if you're not already swinging long here, right, this is your buy zone to get in for, 600 points higher. Okay, so that's how you would start to play the thesis, really the same thesis that we've had today. Now, it is Friday, so the way that Friday is going to work, you got to back into your weekly candle, so we'll go back to where we were. Okay, you got to remember, it's in terms of RTH today, you're either going to get a lot or you're going to get very little. I know that sounds dumb, but it's either this candle is going to double, but it is closing today, or it's going to smash down to that trend line and chill out, right? We'll have a top wick candle here. Those are really the only options today for this Friday, in my opinion. We do have a pretty D-shaped VP right now. Okay, expect rangy. This imbalance lower, prior day P-shaped VP. Pretty chill stuff. So my plan, I'm gonna sit on my hands, still long biased. I've been swinging long for a minute. That trade is what it is. In terms of RTH trade, day trades, I just marked out what we're looking for. Okay, we're looking for buys down here. Okay, that's where we're looking for buys. Okay, I'll even write it up, I guess, for the stream. I really don't like having this stuff on my charts, but I feel like it helps you guys. Buying down here. If we don't get down there, then that's fine. It's just a suboptimal day, and cool. So kind of the third option, let's just assume both of those ideas are wrong. Okay, if those are both wrong, what would be the next option? Well, the next option would be some type of like critical failure on a Friday. We smash on the weekly. Okay, check out the weekly. We smash. We don't just get a little top wick, we get a fat top wick. Even NQ probably weekly goes red. Okay, that's, I mean, it seems unlikely, but I want to talk about that scenario, right? So if I don't see things for the two scenarios that I mentioned, we're probably going into some third pretty wild situation, right? Where the market is essentially rejecting this high, right? It front ran this level. We get a strong rejection of this high, and this consolidation on the weekly gets even bigger, right? Instead of punching the ceiling, getting ready to break out higher, we're now rejecting this level, and the market's going to do something weird. ES, though, still a little bit weird. We have some wicking at the highs. We're still at all-time highs. ES, higher than it's ever been. So we need to watch both charts there, but important to call out all those different situations. Makes sense. Good morning, Mahalakshmi. Welcome to the best place on the internet. Jenks, good morning. Welcome to the best place on the internet. The form for the giveaway, if you want to sign up for the giveaway, is in the Discord. Check that out. Okay, we're doing Apex and My Fun and Futures accounts. Switch the game up on you. I'm going to hit up TPT this weekend and see if I can get them on board to also do some giveaways. We're going to try and do all the big common firms. I might even reach out to like Tradeify, Brett Simba. Let me text that guy right now, actually. See what he's doing. Mr. Brett Simba. Simberkoff. Um, okay. That key level has been holding strong. I thought I was going to sweep it yesterday. Isn't it MNQ all-time highs there with multiple firms in the giveaways now? How many winners will there be? I'm probably gonna reduce or I'll do multiple drawings. I actually haven't even thought about this. I think I'm gonna do multiple drawings. So amongst the list of entries, I'll do a drawing for the My Funded Futures accounts. I'll do a drawing for the TPT accounts. Drawing for the Apex accounts. TPT is not in there yet, but I'll do 2 separate drawings from the same group of people. If you do win one, though, I'm going to remove you from the drawing for the other. So your odds of winning go up as we go down through the firms. We're still only about 30 entries a week, so anyone's odds of winning are still exceptionally high. I think a few people have won more than once, actually, which is pretty crazy. So, that's nice. Lucky for you guys. Lucid. You're asking about Lucid stock? Like the chart? Like LCID ID? Or LCID, this company? Is that what you're asking me? Pips Puma. Also, welcome to the best place on the internet, Daryl. Good to see you. Pips Puma. Welcome to the best place on the internet. I don't know if this is a stock you're asking me about. I could tell you this chart looks terrible. Lucid Trading. Is that a prop firm? Literally never heard of them. Let's do 30 seconds of due diligence. Lucid Trading. Trade with clarity. It says they've paid out $2 million. Oh, it looks like they're on Project X. That's nice. Start my own prop firm, guys. I'm gonna do it. Guys, if I start a prop firm, actually, we should start a prop firm. What should we call the prop firm, guys? What's a good prop firm name, huh? And what rules should we have? If you guys could have the ideal prop firm, what would it be? Lucid Direct. 60% of peak end of day balance. So Lucid has this 20% consistency rule, which is terrible. I think there's a few other. I think Tradeify has it as well. It's nice to go straight to funded, right? But in my opinion, it's actually easier to just fund your own account than to trade on a 20% consistency rule. The thing with trading, guys, is you should not be that consistent in your P&L. Your P&L should not be that consistent. I know that sounds counterintuitive. You need to be consistent in applying your edge and how you show up as a trader. You need to be consistently managing your trades and things like that. You're probably using fixed risk as a newbie, and so your trades are going to be like, say you have a bracket that you always use, right? So you may or may not have trades that are about the same size. But once you start trading with a system that gives you, setups based off what you see on the charts, by no means should you just be doing, like, if there's a 70-point trade, you should not be using your 15-point bracket. Okay, your trades shouldn't be the same size, right? I'll give you a perfect indicator of how your trades should change, right? The VIX, if you match the VIX up next to a graph of your average trade on a day or the week or the month, they should be correlated. Okay, so as the VIX moves up, this average size of your trades should increase, right? Because the ATR, the average trading range on a day, is increasing. As the VIX decreases, it should go down. Right now, it wouldn't make sense to go for a 300-point trade on a day like today in the current VIX, right? Vice versa, there was a period of time where that made sense. So very long-winded answer, but that's why the 20% rule, to me, it's one of the worst rules. Terrible. Also, VIX excluded, right? All that obvious common sense, maybe it's not obvious to me, aside, it just, you're thinking of when you show up to and you're doing your trade plan, you're drafting your strategy for the day, you're basically capping yourself. You're like, oh, I have to trade within these kind of bullshit parameters, which again, it's a prop firm. Every prop firm has some type of rule, but some are clearly better than others, which is why My Funded Futures is up there. Okay, grab an account, use my code Forrest Trading. Apex obviously has a ton of BS rules, but scale, you get 20 accounts, right? So even if you're trading, say you do a $500 payout request, times 10 is 5K, times 20 is 10K, right? So that's, go and look at all my videos. The only reason I recommend Apex is because of the scale that they give you, right? Same for day traders. Day traders, I think, is a little bit better, but they give you that scale. The best account is your own account. If you're gonna use a prop firm, then just make sure you use firms. Use whichever one you want. If you're getting paid from a prop firm, whatever. But just be aware of how it's affecting your trading. Okay. So those are my thoughts on Lucid. Probably, I'll reach out to them and see, like, if you guys really want them. Personally, will never trade them myself, but it's, not up to me. Where's my volume at? All right. 4 o'clock candles closing. We got preliminary consumer sentiments here at 10. 4 hour just closed. We got kind of a rangy, flaggy up candle. Okay. If we do get an extension off of this flag on the 4 hour, it's going to be more like a staircase. I'm not going to draw it out. I'll draw it out. I'll be lazy. Okay. It's going to be like a staircase like this. 24 150. Right. Otherwise, we're going to range across this very obvious node, and then we have this little value area below us, crack down to this buy zone below us there. Okay, we still have this naked POC down here on ES as well, untested, 65.14, still sitting there, downside on ES. Lucid has a one-time fee only for evals. That's nice. Still, the 20% rule on the Lucid Direct is not good. Let's see the Lucid test. Profit target 3,000, max loss 2,000, draw end of day, fixed day loss limit. If the daily loss limit doesn't fail the account, then the regular accounts aren't bad on the Lucid test. It's like very similar to like Apex, basically, or most of the other firms. I don't think it's the trailing. That's in a day, so it's not bad. I don't know how many accounts you can get, but be sure to check out the payout rules and things like that. Niche Dictionary, what's up? Welcome back to the best place on the internet. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Check it out. Get in there. Mr. Carbet is in here. The giveaway form is in free chat, by the way. If you want to join the giveaway, it is in the free chat. I'll give you guys a direct link to it. Copy message link. Okay, you'll have to join the Discord. If you want to sign up for the Discord, try us out. We'd love to have you. Trade Edge. We're traders with Edge, right? All of us trade this system, the BPE system, by Profile Edge-based system. A few traders in there had a really good week as well. For those of you who are just tuning in, macro target still 24,500 basically. I have it 24,497. This has been my macro target in this uptrend for probably 6 weeks now. Okay, you can see that we're still working our way towards there. There have been a number of buys on the way towards that target. Okay, and let's clean up these trend lines here. Let's see which one of these we want to actually use. Looks like we don't want to use that one. Easy enough. When it comes to trend lines, by the way, guys, okay, you guys have heard me say this. They have to be exact. Otherwise, there's literally no reason in drawing them. You can't trade off of a line if your line doesn't respect the data that's on the chart. This doesn't make sense. So just make sure you line them up off the actual levels. Okay, if they're in play at least. It just makes sense. Very strong D-shaped volume profile in the morning, ranging volume profile here in the AM. MFF not responding. Yeah, don't reach out to them, guys. They have no idea about what I'm doing, and it's just gonna get on their nerves. So I'll just reach out to me. I'll reach out to them, and just let me handle it. But anybody could email them like, "Hey, I want an account." They have no way to know. You have to think they have a lot of affiliates. I mean, I'm one of the bigger ones, but I'm not even that big, but I'm one of the ones that they'll at least respond to. I need some music. Let me get some tunes going. Hold up. Can you start a jam like over the internet? Is that a thing? Like, could you guys all listen to what I'm listening to independently on Spotify? Is that a thing that's possible? I'm gonna send them another email. We're gonna do the giveaway drawing right at 10:20. So if you're not in it, hold on, guys. I'm replying to this email right now. Set up a time to chat. Look at my calendar. When am I free? I can do today after 4:30. Cool. What questions you guys got for me this morning? Lay 'em on me. Pushing up higher, we're going towards that overnight high, 24,065. Though POC is still lower on both of these, so I do expect us to come and retest the lows of this, at some point, quite honestly. That definitely will happen. I got a pretty dope new rig for my camera as well. Got that thing rigged out. You know what trade I've been looking at? Look at UPS. Hit my alert yesterday. So I drew this on stream, maybe on Monday. I can't remember. But if you go to the daily chart, there's this prior level. UPS swept. I got that alert. I actually snagged. If we go to the, I'll actually show you how fast this thing reverted after it hit it. I'll do something I never do. Just go to the 1 minute chart. I want you to look at how immediate this reaction was. So I snagged calls once I got this alert right off of this level, and it went rocketed up right off of this sweep. Edges matter, guys. All edges matter. What a joke to use. But yeah, we swept this edge on the monthly. You can see here, boom, boom. So why does that matter? Well, especially on a stock, we know that for a fact that people are positioned here, undoubtedly, right? And in the futures, it's like, it's more ephemeral. We know people are positioned there, but it's more ephemeral. In the equities, we know for a fact that there's people here. Get a phone call. We know for a fact that there's people positioned here. So you want to play these edges. I mean, especially an edge like this. I mean, that's just so freaking obvious, even for day trade, right? This could be a position for a, macro move higher. There's this shelf lower as well, right? If it cracks through this floor, I mean, we're going for, this next edge 38. Oof, that's rough. That is rough. What do you think about the gap on the daily on ES? Let's take a look in a second here. Hold on, folks. Oh my goodness, dude. The triple sign on into everything is crazy. Like, no, I don't want to sign in 4 times, dude. Just hack. At this point, just hack me. I'd rather be hacked than whatever this is. Okay. The gap on the ES daily. Which gap? What gap are you looking at there? I don't see a gap. SPX remove our I don't see any gaps, to be quite honest. Levels not in play. Gets deleted. Is Motive Wave a good platform? I downloaded it once, used it. I'll tell you guys this. When it comes to tools, use whatever matters the most. I really like interactive brokers, for example, like the OG one. It's a little old school, but it's very fast. So I know a lot of new traders like their stuff to like look a certain way or whatever, but just use whatever works. There's specific information that I like organized in a certain way, and that's really the only litmus for how I evaluate tools personally. Probably gonna have a rangy day, guys. Very, very grindy open. 7 minutes to enter the giveaway. The entry is in the free chat. Go check it out. Do I plan to do another cohort for training? To be honest, I don't know, man. Maybe. I might do a lighter one or something. Or charge more or something. Coaching takes a lot of time. I did 2 rounds of it. Even splitting the work with Soul. I still, do it all the heavy lifting of organizing it, planning it. It's a lot, the whole, it's a lot to do. So I would prefer, if I do another round of coaching, it's probably going to be group only. And if I do one-on-ones, they're going to be like ad hoc or something again. For anyone unfamiliar, the way that I did my coaching before is that we'd meet every week, and then I would do one-on-ones with every single one of my students every week, which is how I designed it on purpose, because I wanted to do something that I thought was really valuable. I didn't want to just throw shit out there. I think the trading space is full of a lot of, sell, give me your money now, and then maybe I'll fulfill and give you value. So I really wanted to show up for people. The problem is I just had no time. My calendar was like, it heavily impacted my trading, quite honestly, just because I had no time to actually spend on the charts. And I was spending like 15 hours a week on top of everything else that I was doing. So it's not that I don't like doing it. It's actually probably one of the most fulfilling things I ever did, like getting to work with you guys and do that both times. I just experienced a exceptional level of burnout at the same time, believe it or not. It's a lot. So I need to figure out a way to fit that into my current life. I run a business. I own a brick and mortar business here in Miami. So what I'm probably going to do is gear it towards singular day, either like events where either we do in person, or even it may even be hybrid, right? Like 2 days of just packing the knowledge in, get it done, give you guys as much value as I can, answer all your questions, and not have to try and work it into my schedule for, essentially 2 months. It's just a lot. It is a lot. So I do have a link though right now for one-on-ones. If you want to do an ad hoc, if you go to stand.store, you can schedule time with me right now. I just don't want to commit to essentially an 8-week program right now. Trade Day also recently popular after removing the activation fees. Trade Day. Let's take a look. We fund futures traders. Multiple accounts now available. Trade up to 6 accounts. Wow, that's crazy. Nothing beats experience. Trade Day leverages decades of learning and know how to help you succeed. Okay. So how does Trade Day compare to other firms? They got day one payouts. Other people don't. Up to 95% profit share. Other people don't. Clear path to life funding. Other people don't. 1-2-1 coaching. No idea what that means. Nobody else does that either. And they've been trusted since 2020, which nobody else does, apparently. The colors on the website are making me a little nauseous, but none of that is the actual information that matters. The colors also don't matter, so don't listen to me on that. Let's see what the actual accounts are. Trade until you reach the profit target. Oh my goodness, bro. These guys have one of these websites where they don't just tell you what it is. All right, I give up. I've looked at their website for 90 seconds and I still don't know what it is they're doing. And here's the thing about information, guys. When you communicate, the goal of me communicating to you is that there's some idea in my mind that I want to also exist in your mind, whether it's verbal, written, or even marketing on like a website. These guys aren't doing a good job at that, quite frankly, right? I don't want to click through a bunch of shit to figure out what the hell the accounts are and what the rules are. Just a waste of time. It's like TPT. There they go. I'll never know. I've given up on their website. But if you guys like them, I'll reach out to them, see if they give me some accounts to give away. Yeah, it's very old school website. They just need some modern web designs. Just simplify it. They could just remove like half of the stuff on there. Just be like, here's who we are. Here's our accounts. You know, that's it. Boom. One minute. Let me load up this giveaway form. If you're not signed up, go ahead and sign up right meow. We'll do the giveaway on stream as well. So give me a second to set this up, folks. Get some clarity on here. All right. I'm going to put all of these into chat. Remove duplicates from this list. Make sure none of you guys are cheating. Freaking cheaters. All right. Let me add this to hold on, guys. Trying to resize this freaking window. Boom. Okay, you guys can see this? Cool. Got our list of names right there. I pasted them into Claude and asked it to remove the duplicates. And we are now going to put them into this list. See what we got here. Oh, you sent me. The camera can't see unless you want to come away. If you want to say hi to the stream.
Hello.
Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
My girlfriend specifically said she hates your guys' guts. Oh. Okay. Let me add a new page here. Is it not going to let me? Oh. Hold on, guys. I got to fix these. Hold on. Just give me a list of the email. Actually, just give me a list, username, column. Hold on, guys. I'm working on recognizing when ES and NQ are in divergence. Would you say that they are now? How can I get better at recognizing? Yeah, it's pretty simple. So a simple thing to ask yourself is, the two setups that I teach are, really mean reversions, right? We're mean reversion traders for most of our A setups. So we're asking what liquidity matters and how do we get there? So the liquidity that matters is below us. We're looking at a distribution of volume in the volume profile. Here's a POC, which in a D-shaped VP is the middle of the distribution, right? As the VP gets skewed one way or the other, that shifts. So we understand, like, if we're at a long tail, as we are in NQ right here, we're on the left side long tail of this distribution, how far away are we from the point with the most amount of volume? Well, we're pretty far. We don't even have to measure it. We're pretty far, right? We're actually above the value area high, right? So value area high and value area low are one standard deviation of all the volume. Another way to say that is most of it. Okay, so most of the volume is between the purple lines. Okay, let me get a little box. Most of the volume is between the purple lines, and we're outside of that. On ES, we're still inside where most of the volume is. So we are diverged. Okay, just on that logic alone, we're diverged. Okay, ES also is above the previous 4-hour candle. Or sorry, NQ is above the previous 4-hour candle. ES is inside of it. So we're diverged. So it's really obvious. It's not obvious. It's because you asked the question, but it's simple questions like that will help you get your bearings. And don't try to force it. If the answer is that we're diverged, we're diverged. Do nothing. Don't try to figure it out. Do not try to I think a lot of people like, okay, well, I gotta 7 square root of 3, to the 9th power times this imaginary number. And it's like, you know what? You don't gotta do all that. Let's do nothing. Trading is easy. When you mostly just plan to do nothing, it gets a lot easier. All right, let's see if Claude cleaned up my list of names here. Okay, cool. It did. All right. We got our cleaned up list of names. Put those in here. First drawing is going to be for the My Funded Futures accounts. Okay, MFF accounts. And then we're going to do one Apex account. Okay. So we do 4 names. Drum roll, guys. Virtual drum roll. Give me this. And pick a random name. This week's winners: SMK Prabhu, US Prakash 1997, Pips Puma, and SMT Muthukumar. Okay, so I'm going to put those and say remove these folks from the list. And then we're going to do another drawing for the Apex accounts. Shout out to the winners. Good job. You guys are lucky. Okay. All right. Second round of giveaways are going to be for the Apex account. Parvati 8996. Okay. Is our second winner. And that's it, folks. Good job. You lucky mother effers. Yo, why aren't you guys giving me free accounts? Is the real question. I feel like I'm the one doing all the work, but you're getting the accounts. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, obviously. But no, I appreciate you guys. Shout out to the winners. We're going to keep doing this. Sorry for the disorganization, by the way, and the delay. I'm going to work to get all that done. I'm a very busy guy. Literally, every time I get off stream, I sprint, and I immediately switch to go and, run my business. So it is not intentional. It is just literally a lot of stuff is going on. Let me create a new folder right now. Keep today's September 12th. Take some notes. real quick, you folks, and get those across. I need an AI to just do this, honestly. This is like the perfect thing for like have a agent running somewhere and it just does this and reaches out and does the email. I'm gonna do that this weekend. How's the studio coming along? It's coming along. We just had a kitchen installed the other day. I think I can stream from like, I've got like 4 or 5 of these little DJI cameras. You guys see this here? I need to do a stream from one of these little cameras, like of the studio. That could be cool. It's coming along. Kitchen was installed yesterday. We've got furniture coming in. We're getting a bunch of design quotes. Quotes are coming in from anywhere from like 80K all the way up to like 200K for a lot of our interior design. So some of it we're going to do ourselves, building out some stuff. I got to also look at hiring some more employees. So there's a lot going on, a lot cooking, but it is good. No cap if you had a Zelle or Cash App. I appreciate that, man. And we'll add donations on stream or something. Definitely appreciate it. Well, look, guys, I got to run. I've actually got a meeting with one of my advisors after this. I'm not just a coach. Even your coaches have coaches to shore up the things that I'm not good at. But rollover happening on NQ. I wouldn't say necessarily a rollover, but pay attention to the volume profile. Pay attention to where the magnets are. What liquidity matters and how do we get there is the only questions you should be asking yourselves. Say it with me now. What liquidity matters? How do we get there? What liquidity matters? How do we get there? If we don't start building volume higher, okay, even though price is higher, if we don't build value up here, if we don't build volume up here, then it will mean revert. Okay, I know we just have a bunch of up candles, but we got a lot of bottom wicks, big imbalances lower. It will mean revert if we don't build value higher. Okay, let's keep that in mind. See you guys in the next stream. I appreciate you. Keep your heads up, stay positive, get after it. Today is the last day this week to get a little bit better in the markets. Learn as much as you can today so that you can apply it on Monday. That is your goal today. I'm out.